The Earth was younger then, warmer, wilder, and it wore a crown of taller trees. Beneath that crown, through the cool green light, there walked creatures unlike any that live today, creatures of immense size and gentle grace. Their legs were pillars, their necks were towers, and the world knew no grander, more solemn sight. They were the Sauropods, the titans of old, and their story is a tapestry woven with grandeur, resilience, and a touch of melancholy. Theirs is a tale as old as the earth itself, for it began not with a roar, but a whisper. Let us travel back in time, more than 200 million years into the late Triassic period. The earth was a simpler place then, less cluttered, less crowded, and the life that thrived was mostly small. It was an age when dinosaurs were just beginning to make their mark. In this nascent world, among the rolling hills and sparse foliage, lived a small group of reptiles. They were not dinosaurs yet, but the ancestors of those that would become known as the sauropods. They were about the size of a human two-legged creatures, nimble and quick, perfectly suited for a time when the art of being big had yet to be mastered. As the Triassic progressed, the Earth began to shift. The supercontinent Pangaea, which had cracked open to form the beginnings of the Atlantic Ocean, also cracked the lives of these small creatures. This ecological fracture set the stage for a transformation. The reptiles found themselves in an evolving world where competition was rising and resources were becoming scarcer. To survive, they had to adapt, to grow, to change. And so it began. The slow, almost imperceptible march towards greatness. Over countless generations, the sauropods gradually grew larger. Their legs thickened, their spines lengthened, and the humble herbivores transformed into the earliest sauropods. These were still far from the colossal giants we now imagine, but they were taking the first steps on a path that would lead to magnificence. The Triassic gave way to the Jurassic, and with it came the dawn of a new era. Dinosaurs truly came into their own, dominating the land with a variety of forms and sizes. Among them, the Sauropodoryphus flourished. By now, they had become much larger, perhaps around 20 feet in length, yet their growth had not come at the expense of agility. They remained remarkably graceful, despite their increasing size. This was the time when the iconic features that defined the sauropods started to emerge. Their necks stretched upwards, reaching for the highest branches, and their tails grew long and whip-like, acting as counterbalances for their massive frames. It was a remarkable evolutionary feat, a testament to the power of natural selection. And then came the titans themselves, the most celebrated members of the sauropod family, creatures whose very existence seems almost unbelievable. Imagine a creature so tall that its head was level with a 5-story building, or so long that its body stretched the length of a city block. These were not creatures of myth or fantasy, but real animals that roamed the earth during the Jurassic period. Among them, Brachiosaurus stood as a colossus, a creature whose name literally means arm lizard. With a neck that could curl around a tree trunk and a body that dwarfed most other dinosaurs, it was a marvel of size and strength. Then there was Diplodocus, a creature whose name meant double, thick, a fitting tribute to its robust tail and powerful legs. These giants were not mere overgrown lizards, but finely tuned machines of evolution, perfectly adapted to their environment. Sauropods were not just incredibly large, they were also incredibly diverse. From flat-backed Ceosaurus, to the horned Oranosaurus, they came in a variety of shapes and sizes. There were even sauropods, specialized for different diets, some for browsing on high branches, others for cropping low vegetation. This diversity allowed them to thrive in various habitats across the globe. Their reign was not absolute. Predators like Allosaurus and Ceratosaurus hunted them, and even the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex hunted the lesser-known sauropods. Still, these titans fought back. They lashed their tails, crushed bones, gored rivals, and stamped the earth with their mighty hooves. Even in the face of danger, they endured, protected by their sheer size and strength. Sauropods lived in herds, gathering in numbers that dwarfed anything we see today. These herds likely numbered in the thousands, stretching as far as the eye could see, moving together in a wave that reshaped the landscape. They grazed, they migrated, and they reproduced, each step leaving a lasting impact on the earth. They were not just gigantic beasts. They were ecosystem engineers. Their grazing habits influenced plant growth. Their dung fertilized the soil. Their footprints left lasting impressions, and their bones nourished countless smaller creatures. Their mere existence shaped the world around them, making the earth as much theirs as it was anyone else's. Yet for all their strength and majesty, the sauropods had a secret vulnerability, a weakness that would ultimately lead to their demise. It lay not in their size, their ferocity, or even their endurance, but in their very success. As decayed, they devoured everything in sight, stripping entire forests of vegetation. This voracious appetite led to overgrazing, causing widespread habitat destruction. It's a grim irony that their very prosperity contributed to their ultimate downfall. By stripping the earth bare, they paved the way for their own demise. The sauropods had ruled the earth for over 100 million years. They had weathered countless challenges, outlived numerous competitors, and endured through times of great change. But the end came not with a whimper, but a cataclysm. Around 66 million years ago, an asteroid as wide as a mountain slammed into the Earth. The impact triggered earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and massive fires. The skies turned black with smoke and ash. The world was plunged into darkness. The sauropods, with their immense size and grazing habits, were particularly vulnerable to these changes. Without the protective canopy of trees and the lush vegetation they depended on, they were exposed to the elements and to new predators. Their massive bodies, once assets, became liabilities, draining their energy reserves faster than they could replenish them. Slowly, the herds began to dwindle. First, the young and the weak perished. Then the strong and the mighty followed. One by one, the titans fell until the last sauropod breathed its final breath. Their extinction was swift and brutal, a stark contrast to their slow and steady rise to dominance. Their legacy, however, lived on in the bones they left behind, in the fossils that whispered tales of giants, and in the ecosystem they had shaped, which would soon bear new life. The sauropods might have vanished, but their story did not. It's etched into the rocks, buried in the soil, and echoed in the very essence of the earth. Today, their skeletons stand tall in museums, drawing gasps of awe and wonder from those who behold them. We marvel at their size, their grace, and the sheer mystery of their existence. How did such creatures evolve? How did they survive? And how did they meet their end? The answers lie in the dust of ancient ages, in the fossils that tell a silent story. The sauropods remind us of the boundless creativity of evolution, of the fragility of life, and of the relentless march of time. They were giants, yes, but they were also creatures finely tuned to their environment, perfectly adapted to their world. Their story is a testament to the power of natural selection, the driving force that has shaped all life on Earth. They teach us that size is not just a measure of strength, but a double-edged sword. And they show us that even the mightiest can fall, that nothing lasts forever, and that the earth itself holds stories that are older than time. As we stand before their bones, we're humbled by the scale of their existence. We're reminded of the delicate balance that sustains life, and we're inspired by the sheer tenacity of creatures who once roamed the earth. And so we turn to the earth, the keeper of ancient tales, and ask for more whispers of the giants, for more glimpses of a world that was and shall be no more. And in the rustle of leaves and the sigh of the wind, we hear their echoes, the sauropods, the titans of old, forever lost, forever missed, and forever a part of the earth's unending story.